Sometimes we forget why we're here. It's easy to fall off track. These help us remember.
These battle scars don't look like they're fading, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Growing up, I had a dream, something no one else could see. Tell me what it means when your faith is falling beneath your knees and you can't breathe. Everything you see reminds you of what you're not or something you won't be. You gotta take what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in a business. Not because they wanna do it, just because they heard it pays. And who the fuck wants to be poor knowing that's how we've been raised? Society is getting heavy, I can feel the weight. The pressure of success is like 100 million pounds of shame. And that's the reason I'm staying up late, trying to find a way to escape the stereotypes. This day and age is making me feel like the only way I'll be happy is getting signed to a label and making money through rapping. I wanna share my emotion because this world is attacking the very principle of life that lets the people be happy. If you don't have a reason to breathe, why even live? These battle scars are impressions of everything that it is.
Don't look like they're fading, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battle scars don't look like they're fading, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Now, if I had a voice that reached 100 million people, I'd tell them there's a reason that we're all created equal. Cause some decide to be great and some decide a sequel to an average person's life is simply what they want to be. So you make your decision, all I know is what I'm given. Won't define the life I lead or the way I dwell in existence. I've seen a greater image on the walls of where I'm living, and the words twisted and scripted remind me of something written. Faith is a gift that is given down to the people. If one believes it, one receives it. It's given if it is needed. Don't ever think you're trapped in a life that you never wanted. Your options are infinite, that's some mathematical logic. I'm not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers and these battle scars on my church. Not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers, these battle scars on my church.
Don't look like they're fading, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battle scars don't look like they're fading, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Hello everyone, I wanted to make sure I had my mic on, and yes, my levels are good. Hello everyone. If I look a little rough for the wear, it's because I just came back from the mountains, so I still have ATV dirt all over me, and I did fix that nail I broke though. Oh, y'all didn't even know that. I recorded something, still haven't uploaded it, so you didn't know that I broke a nail, but I broke a nail and I fixed it. Anyway, yeah, so yeah. How are you all doing today? I hope you are doing fantastic. Where is Julian? Julian is not here. Hello, JJ. So, I wanted to let you guys know what I'd been up to. So took 2 days to go up into the mountains. And I truly, truly loved it. It was beautiful. But it got interrupted. Well, it got interrupted by two things. One of them mountain related, one of them LP related. And Mike, you're going to star in this story. So I have this idea for like this video I want to do. Has nothing to do with well, it has to do with LP stuff, and that has to do with libertarian stuff, like libertarian philosophy, but it has nothing to do with like the party in particular. And there's this montage that I wanted to film, and Wayne was going to film it for me, but it needed to be up at the very top of the mountains. And look at my tongue's all bright red because I've been eating Starburst. It's terrible. Oh my goodness. So he's filming this for me, And then he hands me the phone. He goes, "Was that good?" And I'm watching it, and then and because we're at the top of the mountain, all of a sudden we get cell reception. You can't get cell reception generally in a mountain. So we're at the top of the mountain, and flashed across the screen. It says, "It's Mike Seebeck. Call me ASAP." And we're like, "That's never good, Mike. Mike, I'm trying to have a good time." So we were able to call up at the top of the mountain. And Mike's like, "What's going on the LNC list?" And we're like, it's like, "You tell me." So yeah, couldn't even get away for a couple of days. But we were supposed to be back tomorrow, I think, as far as I know. But we ran out of water because there was a leak in the water holding tank. So that just wasn't going to work out. So we came back today. I think we were supposed to be back tomorrow. That's what I thought, was we're supposed to be back tomorrow. I leave all that stuff completely up to Wayne. You know, I'm just messing with you a little bit, Mike. Just give me 1 sec. Okay. So, yeah, so we found out what's going on, and I figured, haven't done a video in a couple days. I have people asking me what the heck, so I figured I'd just do a video, because there's multiple what the hecks. It's not just my what the heck. There's multiple what the hecks, and I try to do a video on what's going on every couple weeks at least, and it's been pretty quiet. And yeah, the appearance on Unsafe Spaces is coming out tomorrow, I believe. I think I just got an email saying it was coming out tomorrow. So what the heck is going on? Well, let's go look, shall we? Okay, let me pull up my screen. Okay, so you guys should... So the first one I want to deal with has nothing to do with me in particular. It has to, because it's the first one that came up. That's the only reason why I'm doing this one first. So, LNC contact form, Joshua Smith suspension. You hope we all had enough of this. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. You guys, you know, if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. I never ask. And that like little TV screen looking thingy, you know, I need to put up Post-its around my studio here of all the things I'm supposed to say. You know, like my Patreon and all that stuff. And super chats are always welcome. You know, I need to put that up here because I am so terrible. Yes, please like, subscribe. I truly, truly appreciate it. Okay, so I'd hope we have enough of this. So Mr. Valente, who is the Region 5 alternate, forwarded over to the list a email from a member that, and again, this is participatory, people. Please put your comments or whatever into chat. I appreciate it. Okay, so he forwarded a email from, the name is redacted. I know who it's from. I'm not going to say the name because it's redacted. We generally do that for member emails, but also though, if you're going to forward accusations about people and ask it to be public, I do think your name should be public. But I'm not going to make that decision. Joshua Smith knows who it is. You could ask him. And it, I'm going to confirm, neither confirm or deny Libertarian Revolution. So basically what it boils down to is there's a guy I never heard of before with a last name, it's Ryan Dawson. My eyes are like filled with road dirt. I'm not seeing well today. I never heard of this guy before this email. So my opinion's going to be very limited, and actually my opinion of this guy is pretty irrelevant. If the things that Hudak here, because it says he outed himself, Justin said, is true, it sounds like a pretty bad guy. Not somebody I would that I would particularly care for. But it seems what the problem is, okay, so there's all of this stuff about this guy. I don't know if this guy's a Libertarian Party member. He certainly isn't an LNC member. As such, Mr. Valente should not be forwarding public accusations about a private person on a political public list. I don't know who this guy is, but I do know our list is not to air accusations against people who might not even be party members. Again, this guy might be a party member, and if he is a party member and this is some kind of discipline of a party member, this should be done in private. So before we even get to Joshua Smith, I have a huge problem with an LNC member. I don't know if any of these accusations are true. There is, I did, Francis, and I'll tell you why. Because both things can be true at the same time. I don't know who this guy is. This could be slanderous. This could be actionable. There are Twitter things. I know, I'm not saying, it could be all true. I know that Twitter, whatchamacallit, Twitter screenshots can be faked. Sometimes they're grossly lacking in context. I don't know. All I know is the LNC list is not to publicly slander, potentially, private individuals. As far as I know, he's a private individual. Okay, then it moves on to connecting it with Joshua. Apparently, Joshua had him on his show several times. I can tell you something I'm getting sick and tired of. I'm getting sick and tired of the insistence that you can't talk to people that you would otherwise find repugnant. My show isn't that kind of show. I'm not going to have guests on here like that. But I also do not have a problem with other people having guests that other people might find repugnant or that they find repugnant. It's not my style. I won't do it. As I've said multiple times, I've got a little touch of the SJW in me myself. Okay? So I understand that. But I am not going to get on some bandwagon that said because Joshua had a guy who, even if all this is true, on his show that we wouldn't like. We've got to have these discussions. When you don't have discussions, whether or not you think they were well done or poorly done, when you take away people's words, all you leave them with is violence. We should know this above all people. Not going to be on my show, but I'm not going to get, all incensed about him being on someone else's show. And I've said this to Dave Smith before, too, with that one guy whose name I can't even remember. Fuentes, was it? I don't agree with the decision to have him on, but that's your show. That's your kind of thing. He won't be on my show. However, so part of the complaint seems to be that Joshua had him on. I don't care. And then the rest of the complaint goes on to complain that Joshua was somehow supporting some anti-Semitic comments that Dawson had allegedly made. Now, anyone who watched my show, I think it was the last one, I really got, I don't want to say into it, but one of my commenters was making some statements about the nation of Israel. And I said, that makes me very, very uncomfortable. It's not my opinion. I don't like when people single out the nation of Israel for unique criticism. I don't like it whatsoever. But you do you. I don't care for that particularly myself. So I think my position on this is perfectly clear. I don't like people that run around going Zionist, Zionist, Zionist. I think they're, not my thing. Makes me uncomfortable. I think all nations suck. So that being said, that's my personal position. However, there is nothing, and if you have the opinion that one nation is doing something particularly wrong, it doesn't make you necessarily a racist to want to point that out. Now, Joshua understood this guy as criticizing the Zionist movement, which a lot of people have a lot of criticisms of, including other Jewish people. I was just watching this special on Orthodox, ultra-Orthodox Jews in New York who are totally opposed to the nation of Israel. And they were like burning Israeli flags and stuff like that. Made me very uncomfortable. So Joshua's understanding that Joshua's comments where he wasn't, I'm trying to, so Joshua's position was that what Dawson was saying was limited to Zionists and not Jews writ large. And what this email is asserting is that that's not true. But you want to know what? That's irrelevant. All that matters is, did Joshua believe that was true? What that guy actually thinks isn't the LNC's business. Joshua could be wrong about what that guy was saying. That doesn't matter. Did Joshua believe that's all he was referring to, and that's what he was saying, that there's a lot of people who think that? If this guy wants to have a case rather than guilt by association with some guy who's allegedly a flaming anti-Semite, let him prove that Joshua is an anti-Semite. Not that he has conversations with anti-Semites, and perhaps that he misunderstands anti-Semites, or perhaps that he's giving too much latitude or, consideration of the doubt to anti-Semites. Benefit of the doubt. He could be guilty of all of those things. However, that isn't actionable. You want to say where Joshua is an anti-Semite? Let me see it. Considering he's half Jewish, I think it's pretty anti-Semitic on your point to be calling a Jewish person an anti-Semite. My opinion. But show me. Show me where he is. This does none of that. An LNC member should have had far more discretion in sending something like this to the public list. If you wanted to send this over to the executive committee, which is what should be done, when this new policy manual thing says if you've got an issue with another LNC member, though arguably the policy is just talking about having issues on the public list, and this wouldn't be an issue on the public list, so there's some latitude there, that you should be sending this over to the executive committee for review. But this ultra policing of guests people have on, and perhaps you misunderstood somebody and you gave them too much of the benefit of the doubt, so